Okay, hi everybody and my gold and platinum friends over here. I'm jumping on as promised because a lot of the platinums in this group attended the Platinum and Diamond Breakout session that we had this last week, and there was a lot of questions or some confusion or people wanting the recording of the close that I shared there on the panel. Now, uh, it's really not very complicated, so we don't need to make it more complicated than it is. Really what it comes down to is oftentimes I have people saying that they don't find any business builders, they're only finding product users, and that's because they're only speaking about the product. Or I have people that are pushing away business builders because of the energy that they're sharing the business opportunity with. So a lot of times, if you're not passionate about the business aspect, you're going to have a hard time carrying that passion forward and getting other people to be passionate about it as well. So oftentimes what we've done is we'll see people that will, they'll give an amazing presentation, whether it's a one-on-one or they're in a class, and they're just pouring their heart out about how amazing these oils are. And then they completely neglect to talk about the business side. And then they're frustrated that they don't have any business builders. Or they'll do the same thing. They'll share passionately about the products. And then all of a sudden, like this shift in energy happens in the room. And they're like, okay, you guys, there's also a business side of it. And they try to talk people into the business side of it. And you can almost feel the walls come up with the people that are sitting in the room like, okay, here it is. Now she's going to start talking us into how we need to do the business. And when people feel like you are trying to convince them of something or sell them on something, then they're going to be a lot less likely to want to ask you questions. So it's really important that at the end of any conversation you're having with anybody, so whether they are just in a class, or they're on a three-way call, or they're meeting one-on-one with you, anytime someone is going and looking at how to purchase the oils and they're enrolling or they're purchasing something, then I simply say this really simple script. And your script might sound different than mine, but the main thing that we want to include in here is that we're talking about them and not us. This is all, when you're closing a class, it's all about them and their needs. And we're trying to position people according to their needs and not our neediness. So if you're focusing on that, then you don't have to worry about anything else other than how you can best serve them. And then you want to also create value in the different options, because people don't really know what it means, or they like to stay where they're comfortable. So if you want them to do more than just enroll, then you need to create value in the other options. So what I say is simply this. There's 3 different types of people that I work with. So the first are those that just want to enroll and purchase these oils for their own personal use. My job is to make sure that you know how to use these oils the most efficient and effective way, because I never want you to buy anything that you don't know how to use. And likewise, I want to help you get the best value for your money. So we're going to choose the most cost-effective oils first to ensure that we're getting the results you want. If not, we can always add something a little bit later. Now, the second type of person that I work with are those that are, as you're sitting here tonight, maybe you're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to tell my neighbor about these oils for her kids, or I need to tell my uncle about these oils for his back, or my mom about these oils. And you guys, just a side note, I say a couple different options because if they weren't thinking that yet, they're going to be thinking of it now because we just said it, right? Or maybe you're thinking, these oils are great, but they'd be even better if they were free. So what's really cool about doTERRA is they are an education-based product. We simply can't have, a bottle of lavender for $10 next to our bottle of lavender for $20 on a retail shelf and expect people to understand the difference. There's all of those different variables that go into the quality of an essential oil. And because of that, doTERRA wants to provide the very best customer service possible, and so they're distributed through an education-based process person to person. You guys are nervous on Facebook Live. This is crazy. I'm not nervous in front of a group though. So because of this, doTERRA distributes person to person for the best education and the best customer service possible. Now, if this is something that you're wanting to do, maybe you're wanting to get your oils for free or maybe make a little bit of extra spending money, then doTERRA will give you a commission of up to 20% of anybody that enrolls through you or someone that you enroll and so on. Now I have my calendar here with me tonight. I have a couple availability options open still, and I'm happy to come and teach a class for you. All you need to do is get on my schedule. It's first come, first serve, and I do have a little host gift that you can take home with you tonight. Now, the third type of person that I work with are those that want to not just improve their health, but also improve their wealth. And that's what I love about my job is we all know that the healthcare system is broken, right? People are out there, they're looking for better options. We have something that is safer, more effective, and less expensive, and I love empowering people with their health. But likewise, you guys, the financial system is broken too. There's so many people out there that are just living their jobs and trying to fit their life around that. Maybe they get to see their kids for an hour or so at night, or maybe they get to see their family for a week or two during the year that they get to take off. And what doTERRA has allowed us to do is switch that paradigm around so that we get to live our life focused on our family and the things that matter most, and we fit our work around that. Now that doesn't mean that there's not any sacrifices, but we get to choose what those sacrifices are. So these are the people that we position into our partnership positions, and we link arms, and we invest a majority of our time and resources and our focus into these positions to help show you our proven system of success and be there with you every step of the way until you achieve your desired goals. Now, it doesn't matter to me which one of these three options that you choose, but it is really important that you let me know so that I can make sure that we're positioning you in the best possible position to give you the right type of support for your needs. If you're simply wanting the best product education and customer service, then I want you to put you in one of our customer positions. If you're wanting to maybe have us come out and help show you how to earn your products for free and teach a couple classes for you, then I want to make sure that we put you in one of our product sharing positions. And if you're wanting us to partner with you every step of the way, then I want to put you into one of our business partner positions so that you get that type of support. So let me know what you want. So you guys, it's really simple. It takes like 2 minutes, and you can script it out. I actually have it scripted out. I can post it below, but you can script it out. You can adjust the words. You can make it, fit what's right for you. And everything that we're saying is true. Even that part about switching the paradigm around where we get to focus our life around our family and the things that matter most and fit our work around that. That's true for a gold or a platinum just as much as it is true for a presidential diamond. I remember a couple of years ago when I didn't have the financial freedom that I have now, I remember really struggling to try to help make ends meet, and it's difficult in a job where you have to pay for childcare and go try to find time to work, around your family. But with doTERRA, I was able to work an hour before my kids woke up. I was able to do some calls during nap time. I was able to work after they went to bed. I was able to take my laptop in my backyard and work while they were playing. And so it's really something that you can custom create around the life that you live. And what I noticed once I started switching up the way that I was communicating with people at the end of my classes is a change in the amount of people that wanted to know more about the business or know more about hosting a class. This doesn't explain everything to them, but it just kind of whets their appetite so that it opens that door. And a lot of times somebody will be sitting there thinking, okay, good. She's saying that I can just be a product customer. And that's like a big sigh of relief that goes over them. They're not afraid to ask questions because they know that we're not going to try to talk them into something that they don't want to do. And so that really opens up the communication between you. And a lot of times that same person, when I start describing that they could get their oils for free or maybe make a little bit of extra money just by hosting classes, they're thinking, oh, well, you know what, maybe I could do that too. I know people that would like this. And so they'll start asking some questions about that. And then when I talk about the business side, I've had people almost come up after a class and tell me their resume and, kind of like apply for one of these business partnership positions. And so it really changes the energy in the room. I'm very much so about listening to what that person needs are and not trying to convince them to do something that they don't want to do. If we're trying to convince people that they want to build this business with us and we're like talking about how great this business is, we can pretty much get people to say whatever we want. And they're committing to build this business out of obligation. But once you place them in that position, they're not going to actually do that out of obligation. They're just going to say they will. So I think that, and what I was talking about in my presentation was that placing, really 99% of the problems that we have with placements can be prevented if we have proper communication. Now, this doesn't include all of the communication that you should do, but it does include just that first step. So by the time you go and do their lifestyle overview with them, then they can ask more questions. Things, it kind of starts planting a seed that works in their head, so they're really excited about maybe what else they could do with this. And oftentimes we have to remember, people came to this class or whatever just to learn about oils, and they're probably overwhelmed with that much information already. They're not quite sure even what kit they want to buy, let alone what path they want to take. So we do need to have a couple more times of following up. But when they start getting really excited, they get that kit, they get those oils, they're playing with them, all of a sudden they're seeing how they're used every day in every way, and there's other people that need them as well, then that seed that you planted starts coming up, and you'll be a lot more likely to be able to have a more in-depth conversation about what that would look like for them personally in the next 14 days, because you've opened up that conversation. So I don't know, do we have any questions? I know we have quite a few people on here. Did that make sense to you guys? Sometimes there's kind of a tangled web up here, and when it comes out, it doesn't always make sense. So let me know if you have any questions. I believe that was all that you guys were asking for, was just a recording of that script. And like I said, I can post the written script below and just change it around so that it sounds authentic to you and it's your words and not mine. And I add a little bit here and there. Sometimes I'll make it a little bit more personal than that and kind of share what that looks like for me. And it will be a little bit different for each of us. But the main thing that I wanted you guys to take away from this is that you do need to make sure that you talk about all three options anytime you're enrolling somebody, and that you're creating value. We're not going into a compensation plan, we're not breaking down anything else, we're just letting them know those three different paths and how it might, what benefit is it for them? What do they get out of it? And I don't usually share my love of what I do, how, rarely does a day go by that I don't get a text or a phone call or an email with somebody sharing an amazing experience that they've had and how we've impacted their health or their wealth. And so I absolutely love what I do, and it's so fulfilling. And you do need to make sure that you are sharing your passion with the people that you're speaking to, or it's going to be hard to inspire them to do anything other than buy a few bottles of oil. So, all right, well, I think that's really all I have. So hopefully this is what you guys are looking for. If you have any questions, post them below and I will try to answer. Thanks.